Hello and welcome to Network News. Today we're talking about Manchester again, as plans have just been announced for a major rebuild of Oxford Road Station to increase capacity, lengthen trains and improve accessibility. The station sits on the infamous Castlefield Corridor, a 1.5 mile stretch of double-track railway which often gets very congested, causing delays to ripple out across much of northern England due to the diverse mix of services running along the line. There were plans in place to upgrade the capacity of the line as part of the Northern Hub programme, which would have seen 2 new platforms added to the through lines at Manchester Piccadilly, as well as a remodelling of Oxford Road Station. These never ended up materialising, which caused major issues upon the opening of the Ordsall Cord, which loaded even more trains onto the already congested line, resulting in the timetable collapse of May 2018. Since then, reliability has been improved on the Castlefield corridor by reducing the number of trains scheduled to run along it, but it still presents a major bottleneck, which is where these plans come in. Counterintuitively, the plan to increase capacity at Oxford Road Station involves reducing the number of platforms from 5 to 3. Currently, platforms 1 to 4 are for trains running through the station, whilst platform 5 is a bay platform for trains terminating from the west. This causes issues as trains departing from platform 5 have to cross over multiple tracks over a distance of 200 metres, blocking all other train movements as they do so. To combat this, it's proposed that trains instead terminate in between the through-line platforms, thus reducing conflicting movements. Network Rail predicts that this will be able to increase the capacity of the line from 12 to 14 trains per hour per direction. This also presents an opportunity to extend the platforms. Currently, platforms on the through lines can accommodate 6-car trains, whilst the turnback platform can only accommodate 4-car trains. Under these new plans, both of these will be lengthened by 2 cars, meaning the through platforms will now be able to accommodate trains up to 8 carriages, whilst the terminating trains can be lengthened to 6 carriages. This translates to an extra 120 seats per train. The current Platform 1 is shorter and narrower than the other platforms, only being able to accommodate trains up to 4 cars in length. It's also the only platform without step-free access. For these reasons, trains rarely use it these days, and its closure would enable the new island platform to be widened, increasing capacity for passenger circulation. Unfortunately, the wider island platform means that the existing Grade 2 listed canopies, which date back to the 1970s, cannot be retained. They're proposed to be replaced with new, wider and longer canopies on the island platform, designed to be sympathetic to the original canopy design. The original canopies will be retained on what is now Platform 4, though they will be extended to reflect the platform's increased length. The extended canopies will, again, aim to use a design that's sympathetic to the original canopies from the 1970s, though the exact details, including which materials will be used, are still undecided. The Grand Station building will also be retained, with no major changes planned that I could see. Improvements will be made to the existing passenger underpass and its lifts, but more excitingly, all 3 platforms will be linked by a new passenger overbridge to replace the existing one. This new bridge will be 6 metres wide and feature 2 new 16-person lifts, one for the island platform and one for the station entrance and new Platform 1. Hang on, did I say new Platform 1? Yes, as part of this scheme, the platforms will also be renumbered. What is currently Platform 4 will become Platform 1, whilst the island platform, which is currently Platforms 3 and 2, will be reversed to be Platforms 2 and 3. The existing Platforms 1 and 5 are obviously left out of the new naming system due to the fact they're being closed. This new numbering system strikes me as much more logical than today's, as it means that Platform 1 will now be the closest to the station's entrance, rather than the furthest away. The station remodelling will also see complementary works undertaken to the Castlefield corridor, including upgrades to signalling and the overhead catenary. So this all sounds pretty great, right? Here's the catch. Whilst the rebuild is taking place, it's anticipated that the station will have to close for more than 2 years. Trains will still be able to pass through the station, meaning disruption will be limited, but it does mean that an increased strain is likely to be placed on neighbouring stations such as Manchester Piccadilly. So what are your thoughts about the proposed changes to Manchester Oxford Road Station? Normally, I'd say let me know in the comments, but this time I'm actually going to direct you to the consultation page for the project, which is linked in the description. It contains all sorts of information about the proposed changes, as well as a really helpful explainer video that's well worth a watch. The consultation is running until the 28th of February 2025, but don't fear if you're watching after this date, as a second round of consultation is expected to launch in September 2025, with an aim to start construction in 2026. If my maths is correct, that means its completion should roughly coincide with the B network taking over rail services in 2028. When speaking about the B network previously, I expressed concerns that their scope to increase train frequency will be limited by network capacity, But this upgrade at Oxford Road, they should now be able to run an extra 2 trains per hour along the Castlefield corridor. Still not a massive increase, but every little helps when the rail network is as busy as it is today. Subscribe to Network News for more updates like this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, but crucially, let Network Rail know your thoughts in the consultation. And until next time, thanks for watching.